Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
Face it, you're addicted to Atari.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to take a look at a purchase I made in November of 2024 and it's shipped out on December 3rd, which here it shows 4/12/24, which is really December 4th, 2024. And I ended up just receiving this about a week ago, which would have been February 20th, 2025. So with the holidays and weekends, it was a total of 79 days in the hands of the delivery services via International Economy through Royal Mail and through USPS. But it said online that it shouldn't take any more than 6 weeks. Anyways, it doesn't really matter now since I have it. And the longer they have it in their hands, greater the chance of it getting beaten up. And you can kind of see it was beaten up quite a bit. Maybe it got stuck in customs because I do have the customs declaration in the back here. So maybe, who knows? I don't know, but all I know now is I have it in my hands and we should rip open what's left and see how it looks inside. Here it is. This is the Atari Addict Collector's Magazine print edition. So yes, there was an option to get a digital version, but there was just no way I would opt for that. I have to feel my stuff, so that's why I needed to get it in print. Well, here's a little background, though, on this magazine, in case you're not aware of it. So from what I can tell, Addict Media puts out this magazine, and judging by its previous covers, this magazine is targeted towards the retro computing and gaming market. Now, the company is based in the UK, as you notice by the packaging, and their first issue looks to have come out in 2021. On their website, I noticed that there has been only one other collector's edition magazine that they created, which was for the Amstrad. So that's a nice honor that there's one now for the Atari. So what's expected when you look through this issue? Well, first, let me just tell you that I was made aware of this from listening to the November 26th Antic the Atari 8-Bit podcast. It was mentioned on the podcast that this special print was made to celebrate Atari's long legacy and that it would cover all Atari from the 8-bits to the ST models, along with a number of key interviews too. Now there's supposedly 60 pages, which, let's just see, this doesn't look like 60, but maybe it is. It's, 57, and then 58, 59, and then the back page 60. So, 60 pages. And this is going to be pretty cool to look at because it's all Atari. And I have no idea what I'm going to get myself into. But like I do with a lot of my reviews on magazines and books, I'm going to go ahead and just pause for a quick second for you. I'm going to go through this completely and come back with some key elements of this. And maybe it might intrigue you to purchase this. You can also get it online, like I said, if you don't want to wait for delivery. It's a cool collector piece. So if you're an Atari fan, Atari user, Atari lover, Atari historian, whatever, Atari anything, this is something you probably would want to have in your collection. So give me one quick second and I'll be right back with my little synopsis and review of this entire magazine. Okay, I'm back. And yes, I did go through all 60 of the pages within this issue. First of all, let me just call out the obvious. I love this front cover. It really does catch your eye, or it caught my eye. They use this nice aged look with this wear and tear around the edges here. You can see how that looks. But really, that's just a printed image. It just makes it look like it's been worn out and old, which is pretty cool. The next thing I thought that was kind of interesting was the size of this. It looked a little bit bigger than a normal magazine, or the typical magazine. So I wanted to measure it, and it comes in at about 8¼ wide by 11½ inches in height. So that's a little bit on the larger side, which is cool because that would mean more content, right? And then also with the front cover, you notice here there's 16 small images. It's pretty cool to see that. And you'd think, well, it's got to have something to do with Atari, of course, right? So let's just see here. Let's play a little bit of a I Spy. You see a Lynx. What else we see here? We see obviously a 2600. And there's here's a Jaguar Pro controller. And the Atari 800 right there, just the right portion of the keyboard. And then, of course, a lot of the classic games you can see as well. All right, enough talk about the outside of this. This is really cool. I think it was a good way of kind of portraying an old-looking magazine and then giving you a little bit of a teaser of what's inside. So let's talk about what's really inside and check this out. So I'm not going to go and stop and, go through each page and thumb through it and kind of take away from the actual purpose of having a magazine for sale. It wouldn't be fair to the publisher or the actual magazine itself. But what I'll do is kind of cover on a high level the key areas that I saw in there that was pretty interesting. First interview that I saw, which it should be, was with Nolan Bushnell. And he explains how the foundation was set with the success of Pong. There was a lot of great facts in the article about Atari becoming the first in many things that they did with gaming, but also being the first merit-based company. You'll also find in here some great reviews like the one on the Atari 2600 Plus, which introduced a new generation of gamers to the Atari, and also a nice Q&A with the co-founders of Retro Games on the 400 Mini. Now, yes, there will be advertisements here and there, but it's not overwhelming, and plus it's all Atari related, so I sure wouldn't complain to see that. On the game side, they do go into some home brewing, which is cool to read. And then there's this great perspective from Gary Kitchen on him, his brother, and David Crane's passion to continue developing games for the Atari through their Audacity Games company. Some of their games like Circus Convoy, Alien Abduction, and Casey's Gold is also mentioned in there. As you get towards the middle and near the back of the issue, it has some coverage on the Atari 16-bit side, which I didn't have that experience when I was a kid. I missed pretty much everything that has to do with the Atari ST, so reading this portion was very intriguing, especially the section titled 9 Things to Do with an Atari STE. And then at the end of the issue, there's this great look back at the Atari Lynx and how it was revered at the top of the market as a handheld for about 15 years. Oh, and then in closing, you just can't forget about the Atari Jaguar. They cover the short period of time that it was produced with a good story around it. And there's also a short mention of the top 5 Atari Jaguar games based on one's opinion. So what do I think about this issue? Well, it is jam-packed and it covers a lot of Atari history for 60 pages. It's nicely laid out, and you're most likely going to find something you didn't know, even if you are a huge Atarian. Now, I paid a total of $19.38 completely to have this shipped, so I think it's a no-brainer to have, at least for that price. I'll put a link in the description to Addict Media's website in case you want to pick up one for yourself. That's pretty much it for this short video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do appreciate your time. And just remember, keep your gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.